Friday the 13th remains one of the most iconic franchises in the slasher movie genre, and the best part about watching these movies is seeing the kills. There might not be anyone like Jason Voorhees when it comes to creative kills, as each movie tried to one-up the ones that came before in both the setup to the slayings and the method in which the victims died. Here is a list of some of his best kills in the films. First is ripping out a heart in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. The first kill in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, was brutal and iconic and remains one of the best in the franchise's history. This came after the fifth movie, where an imposter Jason was killing people. Now, the real Jason was back, and he was ready to reclaim his throne. Tommy and his best friend Alan go to dig up Jason's grave to burn the body. A lightning strike brings Jason back from the dead, and he kills Alan by ripping out his heart. What makes this kill so great was that after he died, Alan falls into Jason's casket and the lid closes on him, with Jason back and ready to kill again. It was a new start in one of the best-rated Friday the 13th movies in the franchise. Next is Jack in Friday the 13th. After having sex with Marcy, who then leaves to use the bathroom, Bacon lights up a joint, only to have a hand come from under the bed and pin his down. Slowly, an arrow pierced through his throat, and blood started to pour from the open wound, leaving nothing but a gurgling mess of a man. The reason why Bacon's death has stood the test of time with Friday the 13th and horror fans alike is because it's one of the only deaths in the movie that isn't cut away from. Marcy's axe to the head is a brilliant makeup job, but the death is actually never really shown, only implied. Makeup and special effects maestro Tom Savini shows just how creative he can be, as the camera never cuts away from the arrow piercing Bacon's neck or from the blood spurting out. Because of this, it's one of the most remembered deaths from the whole series. They tried to recreate it a couple of times, like in Friday the 13th Part 3, but they never quite topped this one. Up next, we have Folded in Half in Freddy vs. Jason. In Freddy vs. Jason, the Crystal Lake Killer made his way to Elm Street and started killing kids there, as Freddy used Jason's nightmares to try to get his murders to make people think the Dream Master was back. There was at least one that made it look like something Freddy could do, and it was gruesome. Jason went into a house where a guy was with his girlfriend. However, while she was in the bathroom, Jason stabbed the guy repeatedly in the back until his heart came out, and then he folded him up in a bed for her to find. The visuals of him folded the wrong way remained something viewers would never forget. Moving on, we have killing Mark Jarvis in Friday the 13th Part 2. One of the cruelest kills is also one of the most memorable. Most of the time, Jason kills teenagers and young adults who are doing something bad, whether promiscuous or otherwise immoral. In the case of Mark Jarvis in Friday the 13th Part 2, he never deserved his death. Mark was in a wheelchair, and that created one of the most lingering visuals in a Friday the 13th movie. He was on the patio in his wheelchair when Jason showed up and used his best weapon, the machete, to kill him. What happened next is what made the kill so incredible. Mark, in his wheelchair, rolled backwards down the stairs in the rain, flipping over in the end. Next, launched into a tree in Freddy vs. Jason. Kelly Rowland of Destiny's Child appeared in Freddy vs. Jason, and she ended up in one of the movie's best kills. The movie was unique because it had Freddy Krueger lead Jason to Elm Street to start killing, so people would start to believe in him again. However, Jason was killing without abandon, so his deaths were nothing like anyone saw from Freddy. The best kill in the movie came when he killed Rowland's character. She was fighting Jason with all she had, and then he just got tired of her and hit her so hard with a machete that she flew across the field and crashed into a tree. It was just a brutal and devastating kill. Down the list, we have Pinned to a Truck in Friday the 13th, 2009. There was a lot to like about the 2009 Friday the 13th reboot, but it didn't make enough money to continue on. There were, however, some great kills in the movie. One of the best came when a guy named Trent thought he was going to escape, similar to how the Texas Chainsaw Massacre ended. Trent ran into a road and tried to wave down a truck. He was almost hit, and then as he approached the stopped truck, Jason grabbed him and killed him with his machete through the chest. What made this one of the best kills happened next. Jason slammed him into a hay bale, and the truck drove off with the dead body twitching as Jason watched on. Next up is Frozen Face Smash, Jason X. Jason X took Voorhees into space, which was what happened when horror movies hit a certain point in the 80s and 90s. This also gave Jason a chance to take part in several situations he never had a chance to at Camp Crystal Lake. In one of the most underrated Friday the 13th movies, Jason got to use science to kill someone by submerging a scientist's face in a vat of liquid nitrogen. It froze instantly, and then Jason shattered her head into pieces. The creative manner of this kill stood out from almost all his previous kills, and while not the the best, it was different than everything that came before. We then have Girl Ripped in Half, Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday had a 2-for-1 kill, which Jason began to perfect by this time. As with most of his kills, this one involved 2 young people having sex, which was always something that led to a bloody death at the hands of Jason. In this case, the 2 kids were in a tent when Jason used a signpost to impale her. He then hefted the sign and ripped her in half while she was still on top of her boyfriend. He died off-screen, but the visual of this kill was enough to beat out most kills in the rest of the movie. On a side note, this was only available to see in the unrated version of the movie. Another machete to the crotch, Friday the 13th, Part 3. The kills in Friday the 13th, Part 3 were all done in a manner to deliver a punch when people watched it in 3D. This was before the new technology made 3D so immersive, and it was necessary to watch this scene with the old red and green glasses on. However, the best kill in the movie came when Jason drove his machete through a guy's crotch. This remains one of the best for 2 big reasons. The first is that it was ridiculous because the guy was walking on his hands to get a beer. The second was that the kill was done in 3D, so the machete was headed straight toward the audience. We then have Sleeping Bag Kill, Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Arguably the most iconic Jason death scene from the movies came in the highly underrated Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. In this movie, Jason was after a camper again, and this time he found a girl in a tent already in her sleeping bag. Jason didn't just stab her or bash her with a weapon. He dragged the entire sleeping bag out of the tent and then proceeded to smash the entire sleeping bag with the girl in it against a tree, killing her. What keeps this from being the best kill was it was only one swing. The franchise repeated the kill in Jason X with multiple swings, but since that was a holodeck kill, it wasn't the same. Finally, we have Jason's boxing fight, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. The best death in a Friday the 13th movie came in a movie most people ridiculed. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. The movie saw Jason jump on a boat and head to Manhattan to kill people in the big city. However, he ended up in a battle with a boxing champion named Julius Gah. It seemed someone could finally stand up to Jason, and Julius delivered blow after blow to the monster, ridiculously punching the hockey mask. After wearing himself out punching Jason, it was time for the KO punch. That happened when Jason punched Julius' head clear off his body, watching it roll down the roof and into a trash can. What made this the best kill was the entertainment value of watching someone fight for all he had and then Jason just nonchalantly ending it with one punch. That's all the time we have for our horror lovers. Make sure to follow for more of such videos. Till next time, cheers!